Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public presentations. This is the time for persons who wish to address the council on any matter not on this agenda and over which the council has jurisdiction. As such, a dialogue with the council is not, or staff is not allowed under the Brown Act. Items requiring council actions not listed on this agenda may be placed on the next regular agenda for consideration if the council directs, unless a finding is made by at least 2/3 of the council that the item came up after the agenda was posted and is of an urgency nature requiring immediate action. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Is there anyone in the public who would like to make a comment? Wait, now. Would you like to make a comment?
Just walk in and give them a check.
It's public comment time.
I think you're great.
Oh.
I'm sorry, recognition. I just need everybody.
Well,
I'd like to comment when I do get a chance. Thank you.
well, no, really, this is public.
Oh, this is the moment.
This is the moment.
What took you here?
Oh.
Just in time, it appears.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm new to the area. You gotta bet me that. My name is Frederick Breckenridge.
Hi,
I
Frederick.
feel like I'm in a hot seat for a little bit, but then,
Yeah, 3 minutes.
okay, then I appreciate the pressure. Work best when my back's against the wall and under pressure. This isn't really the type of comment that should be happening. I've been trying to go through resources. I'm new to homelessness. I had a nice house in the Humboldt for 20 years. My only got cancer. I moved close to my son in Rico. A 1-year tenancy. I didn't have to eat for 3 months. Skunks living under the house. They retaliated and they tried to pull a no-fault eviction and turn it into a house for sale. I had somebody in my house every week for 9 months. I couldn't believe they were getting away with it. And it's like clockwork. Frustrated my employment, lost my job, lost my kid, lost my diversion to Cal Works, 2 months rent to cover it all. It's nonsense. They got me out in 1 day before the end of my lease. Code provisions failed. Like as soon as they went, Dustin Owens, Attorney Dustin Owens, precedent. We have a aggressive process server, Lynn Perry, banging on people's houses for 15 minutes, women and children. And they have it on ring. In fact, somebody said posted on Facebook, the Humboldt Community Watch, is that Frederick Breckenridge? Now, if I ever appear on somebody's house knocking on your door, you better call 911. And I will never appear for anything but an emergency. That's why I'm here today. I'm homeless. I'm new to it. I don't enjoy it. I'm not going to be here. I promise you that. But it's the county supervisors that all the resource agencies are blaming them. From the bottom, coming up. Rex Bond was my mentor for 20 years. I stood up for him against a lot of people. Watch it. He turns on me. And when he turns, let me tell you, the whole herd turns with him. And I'm disappointed who I'm finding in his herd. I'm not new to it. I met Rex when he made cutting fields. It's like this guy's doing something for the kids. We haven't really seen much since then. A lot of bad comments, some poor posture for somebody in his position. Our best representative, chairman of the county. I'm hearing on what is the country station, Big Red? Mayhem at AA. We have mayhem advertised at the sheriff's favorite bar across the street from the sheriff's station. After following Marcy Kitchen's vehicular mayhem, the last time I heard about mayhem was the nurse that got attacked in Trinity. Now, I love this community. I love my children, I love myself, and I love this community. I'm a historic preservationist. I painted a pink lady. I met Rex Troy Combs, who became a prison guard, cousin of Marco Luna and Hank Combs. I am being attacked because I am going against the flow in an ebb tide pulling me up. I can't tell you what I found being homeless and how people treat people. And when we go to you guys have a resource center because of the earthquake, and I thank you for that. I'm not trying to focus on our challenges or weaknesses, build on our strengths. I have information that is useful. It's our contribution through suffrage. This program doesn't know what this program has, but they're more than happy to send you there to get another bus ticket, to get a piece of paper. And I've checked off all the boxes, and I'm in civil rights and the attorney general. And that's what I'm here to say today. You wouldn't believe what it took for this county to provide me one shower. I got it in Redway. Because I got one shower before that. A week prior at the mission, I lost my bowels walking into what I see these people showering 4x8 room. While there were COVID provisions in our hospitals, couldn't give me a shower before I got a rectal exam. Whose mental health are we questioning? The person that needs the shower or the one that got the rectal exam without a shower, and who gave it to them? That's the mental health I'm worried about. One shower. I got phone. I don't want to be here talking about it, but I couldn't get a private office to discuss this. And when I got this upset, the authorities got called. It followed me down to Redway, where I got my shower at a once-a-month shower for somebody that committed suicide because he didn't have the resources. I almost didn't make it here today because I didn't have the resources. And I walked to Rio Dell 11 miles a day when I do, 22 miles just to catch the bus. Fortuna's not any closer, but you guys are a lot more friendly down here. And Sarah's doing a great job. I hope her staff ahead of her that screens people finds a sense of urgency and some solutions on our own to call out, to make sure I get a shower today. I found them the showers at Seventh-day Adventist. I made that connection for them because of me. They knew about the shower down south. But I still didn't get a shower before city council meeting today, and they knew I was going to be here. My dog died this morning.
Recording stopped.
Still, my other dog was.
Recording in progress.
If anybody has it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Forgot me. Rhoda, you're any hands raised? No. That's not over there. Any email side?
No.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. Sorry, I'm here.
Don't be embarrassed. No, I know. Don't be embarrassed. Please don't. And now we move to the consent calendar. Is there anyone who would like to remove an item from the consent calendar? No. Okay, anyone in the public who want to remove anything from the consent calendar? No, then can I have a motion? Any hands raised, email? No. And can I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? I so moved. I have a motion. Second. And a second. Oh, we need Karen over there to, so we're just doing a roll call.
Councilmember Woodall.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carter.
Yes.
Mayor Garner.
Yes.
Councilmember Orr.
Yeah.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yeah.
Motion carries 5-0. I want to move to staff reports, page 63 in our package. City manager, please.
Thank you, Mayor Garner, members of the council. So, just a quick notification. On Wednesday, March 29th, the tsunami warning test will be going on at 11 a.m. That doesn't particularly impact Rio Dell. However, if you happen to be down by the beach or anywhere in a low-lying area and you hear sirens, it's 11 a.m. on Wednesday, March 29th. That's what's going on. I was able to tour our most recently opened indoor cannabis cultivation site in Rio Dell up on Northwestern Avenue. And that went well. And I think it's a great facility and built to modern standards. I want to just recognize Supervisor Bushnell for two things. One being making a post on Facebook regarding the site, the cultivation site, and then two, also Supervisor Bushnell requested the radar speed signs from Caltrans for the Bellevue neighborhood. Since over this last weekend, the bridge was closed and the only way in and out of Ferndale, at least not to the, at least to the east and north, would be through Rio Dell. With that, we've been working on our California Disaster Assistance Act compliance, which we have an agenda item on, we'll discuss later in the meeting. With that, apologize for the brevity of the staff report for this meeting. But with that, I'll go ahead and return it back to the mayor to see if there's any questions for staff.
Thank you, City Manager. Mayor Pro Tem.
Just briefly, Travis, you discussed the facade improvement program with the new owners of 71. I'm just wondering how that, did they seem receptive?
Yeah, so the new, excuse me, of 70 Wildwood did inquire about fixing their awning and possibly adding some paint and some improvements to the frontage there. So we got him set up with the facade improvement program packet as well as the application, and we're helping him through that process. So hopefully we can get another project under our belt, and that could spur additional ideas and improvements on the Wildwood stretch down there.
Absolutely. Thank you for reaching out. That's a big deal. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Councilmember
Nicholas.
Wilson.
Just on the speed going down Bellevue, I don't know if I talked to Chief or city manager. I've seen some reports that there was that was pretty abused by whoever on there. Is there anything, were we doing anything with radar or tickets or any kind of enforcement on that?
We didn't this past weekend. However, we've been in talks with trying to get speed signs up several parts of the city where we know that people are wanting excessive speeds. And so I think we have a grant application in right now for those electronic speed signs.
I think from Bridget, we probably won't, hopefully we won't have to see that same problem again. Anyway, I just heard it was abused. That's my only comment. I think that I have on here, and I appreciate Supervisor Bushnell stepping forward to get us some signs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, just a question. Evidently there were some kids, I assume it was kids on the bridge throwing paintballs. Had you heard about that?
I did, and we were trying to identify those kids. Actually, one of our police cars has some damage from the paint that was on that.
Oh, okay. Because it wasn't too long before I came in, I saw, when I was coming back across, I saw the cooler over there, and then I saw it on Facebook what it was, so I went back and it's gone, so.
Yes.
Thank you.
If anyone in the public wish to ask any questions of staff?
I'm here hoping to find out about this fixed sewer bill.
Oh, that's coming up on the, yeah. Thank you. The hand raised, no, yeah. And we will close staff reports. On to special call items. Approve resolution number 1578-2023, temporarily waiving sewer fees for customers whose residents have been red tagged by the December 2022 earthquake disaster. Page 66 in our packets. City Manager.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Travis.
Evening, Mayor Garnes, members of the City Council. On December 20th, 2022, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake struck off the coast of Northern California, and widespread damage was reported throughout Humboldt County, especially the city of Rio Dell. Less than 2 weeks later, on January 1st, another powerful 5.4 earthquake shook the city of Rio Dell, causing additional damage to homes and infrastructure within the city. Approximately 45 homes ended up being red tagged. On February 21st, the council directed staff to take action on this item with regard to the sewer bills for homes that were possibly red tagged. The city established a sewer bill adjustment claim form that offers ratepayers whose homes were red tagged the ability to file claims to waive their sewer bill for up to 6 months after the December and January earthquake disasters. City staff established a claim form that will offer up to 100% forgiveness on the sewer bill charges incurred after the earthquake disaster events of December 20th and January 1st. There is no current sewer adjustment policy in place, and this program would end on June 30th, 2023. With that, staff would welcome any questions the council has at this time.
Thank you. Councilmember Woodall? Yeah, I've already talked to Travis about it. I just wanted to know, number one, if it had been run by the attorneys, yes, and also that if the houses are red tagged, they have no water going to them. So, and he answered that for me, so. Do you want to tell the answer? They have no water going to them. Huh? That was the answer there? Yeah, well, yeah, I just wanted to make sure if the water was shut off, that they were also, you know, not having to pay for the sewer. If they weren't paying for the sewer, that both the water, yeah, thank you. Councilmember Wilson.
So just to, my hearing isn't what it used to be. So what he, Councilmember Woodall, what he said that, the water wasn't turned off to the red tag houses.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, so red tag homes in Rio Dell have their utilities disconnected, including gas, PG&E, and water.
Okay.
And so in order to get those utilities turned back on, their home would have to be deemed fixed and not red tagged so they could live in the residence again.
Okay. And then was there, you said here there was 45, is there 90? The numbers that we've been told was like 90 or something red tag, is that?
So at last count, and the number may be an error, but the last count I saw was 81. So the numbers have gone down. They're going to potentially fluctuate, but we don't really, or we're not anticipating any additional red tags being identified, but red tags being downgraded to yellow or, you know, obviously to green.
So they are making progress.
Yeah.
I guess my question.
Yeah, and we expect as the weather clears up that there's going to be significantly more progress.
Okay. That's one of the questions. Thank you.
No questions. I'm in agreement with this. I like the idea.
Councilmember Warren?
No question.
Okay, and my own question is, it says it'll go for 6 months, so if the person, home is, completed and it's back and it's green, does it go, is the fee still waived? I'm just curious. Is it still, is that 6 months, a hard 6 months, or does it fluctuate with the repair of the home?
Yeah, so it's written as the fees are waived as long as the home is red tagged. So if that home is fixed and they're able to live and utilize those services again, they'd be expected to pay the utility.
Are there any? I was gonna.
Yeah, that's the main reason I'm
Can
here.
you come up to the,
I don't have my reading glasses with me, so bear with me. Unfortunately, my house got red tag. Okay, lived in my home for 10 years on Rigby Avenue. Okay, loved it though, the best place I've ever lived. And in my house, I really tore up that. I'm talking, it was like somebody shoved my whole house exactly 5.5 inches to the south. Compromised sewer, water, everything. And yet I was getting a sewer bill, even though it says units of water, it's different. And to salt in the wound is that this one actually says a late fee. Well, was homeless. I can't live in my house, and I just want to make sure that the city is being fair to red tag homes. And I hear you talking about 6 months. It's already been what, 3, going on 4? My house is going to get fixed in 6 months. And to say that I have to pay this $54 and something a month bill, well, where I'm staying, they would like some utility money. And in just 12 months, this is $600 and something. And I just want to make sure the council knows that I hope and pray that the council can agree that it doesn't matter how long it takes to get your house fixed. Unless you're running water, unless you have running water on your property, this is exempt. And I've been paying this since the earthquake. And I hope that maybe they'll even reimburse me for the last couple of months that I had to dig into my pocket and pay a sewer bill when I have no water or sewer. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, could you, tell us your name so we can go in a minute?
Stephen Saunders,
Thank you.
want the address of my house too? It's the only address in town you can say it like it's shared. It's 762 Rigby Avenue. 762 Rigby Avenue.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sharon Wolf, Big Industry. I just wanted a clarification because on what you're saying. So the water bill, the portion of that, there's a base rate and then there's a usage rate. Are red tag properties also not receiving a bill for the base rate? They will not be receiving a water or sewer bill for 6 months that they have to pay if they sign up for this program. Yes? Or no?
They're not receiving a water bill because there's no water being used. And so.
Right, but it's still the base rate fee that everybody pays whether you're using it or not.
For the sewer.
There's also
Which
base
is
rate on water, I thought.
There's no base rate on the water.
It's just on sewer?
There's no base rate on the water.
Okay,
Base rate on this.
excellent. So no utilities. That's great. And then to clarify, if it does take someone longer than 6 months, it can continue as long as their house is red tagged or unable to be occupied. Is that the intent?
That's not how it's written right now.
Okay, so that'll be up to the city council then to decide when later on if that's the situation people are in. Okay, okay, great. I mean, I'm totally in favor of it. I just wanted clarification.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more quick question? Did you say over here that there's a form or something to fill out about the exempt for the sewer part? Because the last couple of months when I went in to pay it and complained about it, not one person said, oh, well, here's the form, fill it out. If your house has been red tagged and then bring it back or mail it back. So this is the first I've heard about if there's a form.
This is a whole new situation that we are dealing with right now. So there was no form. Now there's going to be a form. Absolutely.
Travis, being as we're doing this just tonight, we can't do retroactive from when the earthquake started.
So it's written as if you do fill out the form, it will go back to the retroactive of January 1st. So the ratepayer would get a credit in that instance.
So you would get a credit.
I would get
Thank you.
last 2 months refund, because that would be great. You know, that's over $100. So like I said, it gets to the person where I'm saying, you know, but I've been just quite, it's been quite a traumatic experience.
Of course, yeah.
But I've been positive. I know when you get back to my house, it's just gonna take more.
Thank you. Are there, yeah.
Okay, kind of back to what your question was, and I believe,
Sharon. Sharon.
I can't think of her.
Sharon.
Sharon. So I'm sorry, my bad.
It's okay. I'm bad at names too, it's okay.
On the 6 month thing with the red tag, is that something that we can consider to go, I mean, the red tag is red tagged in it, as it's been commented, that probably to get all these unred tagged in the next 4 months, or by June 30th is gonna be, I would hope that it would happen, but that's gonna be pretty phenomenal to take place, so, is that?
I think Councilmember Wilson, that we should address this right now, and June 30th basically is the end of the fiscal year, so we can readdress this prior to June 30th, but we don't want to send this away now and then have to start redoing things. When this is here, let's do this, and then we will address post 6:30, you know,
Is that why 6:30 is on here because of the budget thing, or is it just an arbitrary number?
So, you know, I'll address that. We're adding a new kind of administrative system here that, you know, we just went through a rate study and analysis to set up the rates, which includes all of these, the empty lots, and and so forth. So setting up a planned obsolescence of the relief program is necessary to ease the administrative burden onto staff, to do that, to contain the costs, and it certainly is in the council's purview. But I'd like to remind the council that the next item that we're going to be discussing, we're talking about $25 million worth of infrastructure damage, most of it related to the wastewater system. And it is not in the best interests of the community as a whole to be deviated from the original rate structure plan, too much. And so, that's the consideration here. And we certainly, feel for the people who have these issues, but there are some options on the table by, calling the 268-2500 number to get in line for some services for repairs to the building, including water and sewer to the structure, to reduce the red tags so that we can get people back into their homes.
As commented by the mayor, I don't have a problem with us taking the step that's in here to June 30th. However, I will state categorically that the situation that we're in and the situation that people with the red tags are, whether we adjust during budget time or we have to, I can't believe that we have to go out and get a whole new rate study in order to deal with 80 houses and how that impacts the whole sewer system. But it'll come back up, and I guess just I haven't been real argumentative about a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. This is one that probably just stands out because we already made a statement that said that the red tagged people were the top priority item that we had as a council to address for the city. I understand infrastructure is infrastructure. That's $25 million. This gentleman over here is talking about $50 a month. That's a big deal to a gentleman like him. The $25 million is a big deal to the city of Rio Dell in an overall picture. But right is right, and right will never cease to be right. That we need to treat these people that have been impacted. Roughly, I don't know, it's 10% of our population houses and red tags, depending what the number is today. And so
just to clarify, I didn't ask for a new rate study. I'm not saying it's a value judgment. I'm saying that administratively there needs to be a cutoff date. Whether the council decides to extend that or not is up to the council.
Well, that's fine with me. We can bring it up and we'll see where we're at June 30th. We'll come back and see. Maybe they'll all be fixed. Maybe there'll only be 6 red tag houses. But
precisely,
I'm just telling you in advance, it's going to come up from at least this council member.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay. Okay, any hands raised? Okay. And then is there sorry, turn the page this way. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 1578-2023, temporarily waiving sewer fees for customers whose residences have been red tagged by the December 2022 earthquake disaster?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
And I'll gladly second
We
that.
have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Woodall,
Yes.
Councilmember Carter,
Yes.
Councilmember Garnes,
Yes.
Councilmember Orr,
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Now we will move to the discussion on earthquake-related damage to the city-owned public infrastructure, page 71 in our packet. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes. The council will go ahead and turn this one over to Travis for an update on the reporting.
Evening, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. Last Thursday, we had a meeting with Cal OEF Representative Michael McIntosh, who's going to be helping us with our recovery process for expenses related to the earthquake damage from the December 2022 earthquake. During this meeting, we discussed a set of items included in the list of projects that are included in the packet here. You can see there's 15 items that have been included here. This list of projects is important because as of the kickoff meeting last Thursday, we had 60 days to finalize this list. So between last Thursday and 60 days from then, which is sometime in the middle of May, we can amend and update the list of projects to make sure we capture all expenses that the city of Rio Dell has incurred during that time. This includes things like the dumpsters, debris removal, the sanitary services such as the showers, B&Bs, and water provided to the community. It also includes a lot of big unknowns such as water pipes that may be broken and sewer lines that may be broken going under the freeways that will require a lot more engineer work and a lot more time in the future. So as long as those projects are included on this list, we can continue to work through these and collect the expenses that are associated with them. As of today, we've already submitted 2 of these items for reimbursement with the state, and it's going through that process right now. Nothing's been approved yet, but it's important to note that we've been proactive in getting all this taken care of. The reimbursement rate currently is going to be a minimum of 75%, and we will request to increase that up to 100%, given that we did add wording to the safety element of our general plan a few meetings ago, and that has been advised by Cal OES as well. We'll continue to work with County OES and our state partners to make sure that the city of Rio Dell is made whole and all of the expenses that we pay are reimbursed as much as possible. The manager would like to add to that.
No, I think if you have any questions on the attached list, so beyond page 71 is 3 pages, let us know and we'll try to answer.
Mayor Pro Tem? Oh, I hate seeing all these numbers. Which 2 did you submit already?
So the 2 that we submitted were ones that have been completed already. Many of these still have lingering invoices or payments or work that has to be done. So the item number 1, the debris removal, we were able to capture all of the costs from ecology that came from the invoices for the dumpster that were located at the fire department at City Hall for about a month.
Yeah.
We also were able to submit item number 4, which included the B&B portable toilet, which we were told was about $125,000, as well as the water that was that the city purchased at the very outlay of the earthquake event. So we did make a small water purchase to get us off the ground there before the rest of the aid arrived, and we will be able to claim that in our reimbursement as well.
Do we feel hopeful that this is gonna go well, or?
We're very positive. We have great support from Cal OES. They've been incredible in terms of their contact and how they've communicated with us. You know, they came here to City Hall and spent all day with us. They walked around the town and, you know, are very familiar with the city and the infrastructure that's involved. And they're incredibly easy to work with and get a hold of. So I feel like we have great partners in this year. So I think we're hopeful.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's it for me right now. Thank you. Councilman Woodall?
Yeah, I have one question on the debris removal. You have $75,000. And then on the checklist, and it looks like it's all debris removal, we have 51,000.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the one thing to note too, the list of projects, these are estimates. And so we try to capture the high end of the estimate just to make sure we can try to cover those costs as recommended by the state. This cost includes the $51,000 that you mentioned, as well as a $12,000 invoice that came in at the end of the calendar year that covered the last week of December going into that first week of January. We also were able to capture some of the equipment costs that were used, such as the backhoe that had to be used to smash down the garbage, to clean up the garbage that was overflowing daily, as well as some staff time that it took as well. So when you add all those costs up, it does equal about $75,000.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Councilmember Orr.
No question to be answered.
Thank you. Councilmember Wilson.
Yeah, on the list, there's about 4 items that all I see are in the billions. There's item 15, 12, and 9. OES. 16, that's about 20 billion something dollars. Is there realistic that Cal OES is gonna reimburse that, or is that something that could be added to that? There was that number up there that, that was unreachable with with what we had. Would this apply in any way to try to get FEMA to figure the thing to try to help the local people?
As far as I understand, FEMA will not be helping for this disaster event. We did not meet the threshold. This information was already included at the beginning to go into that calculation.
This already went into that calculation.
Correct. Okay. The note on some of these high costs, there is options and possible avenues to get advancements for some of these extreme payments that the city obviously can't take on up front. So there's options how to work through the financing and things like that. But there is absolutely an intent that the state will reimburse the city of Rio Dell for 75% of the total cost.
Of this total cost.
That's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the public? Are there any hands raised? Is there anything you need us to do, city manager?
No, it's just an informational update from the council.
It just had possible action, but. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay, then that.
I'm sorry. Can I ask a question now, or?
Is it regarding?
I don't know what's on the agenda. It's regarding grants for people that have been red tire to try to find finances out there to help us.
Well, and I know that this is gonna sound bad, but technically to the letter, we cannot discuss that, but you can absolutely come in and talk to staff tomorrow to find those answers out, or you can call the still 441 5000?
Correct.
707-441-5000. I'll write it down. Yeah, absolutely. And that number, if you call that number, then they have actually the information to connect you with all the resources that are available at this time. Mm-hmm. So that brings us to council reports.
We have a nuisance advisory committee meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. here in the council chambers. I think I haven't really been to any meetings since the last one, so I think that's my only announcement. Nuisance advisory committee tomorrow. Thank you.
And I went to an HCOG meeting on Thursday and they had a presentation. They did a survey on the streets in the county. And I called her today to ask her to send me some of the information on it. She didn't do it. So, but when I get it, I'll pass it out to all of us so we can take a look at that. I went to a school board meeting. Amanda and I have been sort of alternating going to the school board meetings. I make it better to go to them. Yesterday I went on a ride along to Bristol, and it's really interesting. I know I've said this before, but Gordon and I talked about looking for a new officer, another new officer, and we decided that we'd wait until the budget time. But I would challenge everybody to go out for a ride along because it might change your opinion, because I think we really do need one, and it's an eye opener to ride along with the officers. So I would challenge you to go before we look at the budget. And it was a great ride, and other than that, nothing else.
Councilmember Wilson, thank you.
I have RCA meeting Thursday. And we kind of extended meeting, after the last council meeting I had. And I don't really have, there's not really a lot of stuff to report on RCA right now. They're trying to bring the other members of RCA up to speed because they lost over half of the members with all the elections. They changed all of the seats, so that there was over half of the members left. that will replace. So they're trying to bring people up to speed to kind of understand what's going on with that. And they're making it's a hybrid meeting. If you're interested, just, it's 3:30 on Thursday. They're using Jefferson School now in Eureka because they can't, that's a place that allows them to do hybrid meetings, so they're doing that.
Thank you. Councilmember Moore?
I don't have anything to report. I've been out of town for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. But I'm happy to be back and get back into the flow, so that's about it. Thank you.
Okay. I had a community services policy meeting on last Friday with the League of California Cities, and this coming Friday, the 24th, there's going to be the League of California Cities legislative and business meeting, dinner in Arcata. And I think the meeting starts at, I want to say 10:30 or 11, can't remember, but if you reach out, I'll leave that information here. So all council members are welcome to go. And sometimes it's very interesting, sometimes it's kind of boring. But anyway, after the business meeting and legislative meeting, there'll be a reception, there'll be a walkabout the Arcata Marsh, and then a dinner. So that's my report. And so I think that would be it. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. We have a second?
Second.
Being adjourned until April 4th? Something like that. Yeah, there is. April 4th at 6:30. Go out and bring that.